Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Welcome to Sound on the Hill. We're about to start in a few minutes with a live interview with Bridjai, the singer. She's amazing. She's a really dope singer from Dallas, Texas, and I promise, it's gonna be a really good interview. She has a great story, great content, a great artist, all around great person. I promise, it's gonna be a good interview. Hello. All right, here we go.
Hey,
It's hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You look so amazing today. How are
Thank
you?
you.
So, how is it? How's the Dallas weather right now? How is it all the way over there in the next? And we still in the South, but you Texas is so far away. How is it over there right now?
Dallas is hot, but I've been inside most of the day because me and heat really don't get along. It's really like a love-hate relationship, so I keep my distance, love it from afar.
In the house, in the AC.
Yeah, in the house chilling, watching Moesha. That's how it
Yeah,
goes.
I'm almost done. I have to take a break. I'm gonna go back to watch Proud Family on Disney Plus for a little minute.
Yes, I keep forgetting that Proud Family is on there.
hmm So, we already talked about how it is in Dallas, but why don't you tell us about your experience growing up, born and raised in Dallas, giving back to the community? How's that?
Well, hey, see, I'm gonna try not to read the comments. But you know, anyone that's from Texas know like there's the surrounding cities and stuff like that. So like I'm not from Dallas, but I'm from the surrounding cities in North Dallas.
Okay.
I grew up in like McKinney and Frisco. Right now I'm in Little Elm, and my granny lived in Oak Cliff in Dallas. So anytime I would go see her, I would be out there, and we really didn't, they didn't let us mix with too many people, but I was always there. I would sit on the porch. I had a guitar back then, and I would play the guitar and I would sing and stuff like that, and people would listen to me sing. But Dallas is, uh, Southern bells, Southern hospitality. Dallas is just ain't no place like Dallas. Once you come to Dallas, you be like, okay, I rock with Dallas. I like Dallas.
So you say like Dallas is like the epitome of Texas, if you can say that. Like, if you could brag on your own city a little bit.
I would say people always compare Houston and Dallas, and like both
Oh,
places are great. But if you're going to really talk about them, Houston is like a ratchet, and then Dallas is a classy. Like no shade, no tea to nobody, but it's just everyone know it is what it is. I said what I said,
that's
but
not my first time seeing that though, so I'm not really surprised about that at all.
yeah.
Like that's not. And you told me you had like an interesting story about when you were born. Could you tell me about that?
Okay, so when I was born, I came out screaming so loud the doctor said I had the lungs of a singer. My dad was all the way in the waiting room and he could hear me as soon as I came out. So it's like, it's like predestined for me to do this and be here and, putting
Great
it out.
way.
So,
That's so crazy. Like to hear, cause like all babies scream, but like I could just imagine having been in the hospital and you hear a baby screaming that loud. Like that makes you.
yeah, it was like probably one of those Christmas stories where they'd be like, it was quiet in the house and you couldn't hear anything but a mouse. No, you heard Bridjai screaming, honey, all the way from the labor room.
Somebody in the house next to the hospital.
Right. It's like, who child is that?
So with that, growing up, everybody been waiting on you to be singer in your hometown. How was the support and stuff from your friends, family, and everything like that?
A lot of people didn't know I could sing growing up. I kept that to myself. It was one of my hidden talents that the world didn't know about. Because I had really bad like stage fright and stuff like that. I was very shy around people. I didn't come out of that shell yet. It wasn't until I got to college that people really like figured out I could sing. Like I had this little voicemail in middle school. I was like so nervous to put it on there, but it was hey, this is your girl Bridjai. Sorry I couldn't get to the phone to say hey. Leave me your name and your number, little message and I'll probably call you. So thanks for the time you gave me. I'll get right back to you maybe. So thanks a lot. Don't drop it that, and I'll see you later on the 5 o'clock.
Okay.
People used to call me, and when I would answer, they would be like, "Hang up! I came to listen to your voicemail."
Let's hear it one more time.
So this
Yep.
is your girl Bridjai. Sorry I couldn't get to the phone to say hey. Leave your name and your number, little message, and I'll probably call you. So thanks for the time you gave me. I'll get right back to you maybe. So thanks a lot. Don't drop a dot, and I'll see you later on the 5 o'clock.
I know that was dope. That's really creative. I would have never thought about that. Like, cause you know
Thank
everybody else, we was too focused on like recording our phones to like the radio and stuff, trying to get the same song.
Yay.
And you
But
go here.
my thing, like growing up, I could never remember like what was my favorite song at the time unless it just came on. And still to this day, I'm the same way. So I was like, let me do something that is just different. And I just did it, and people would be like, wait, hold on, why'd you answer? Hang up. But yeah.
So when you said that you was talking about how you was had stage fright and stuff until like you got to college, and I can relate to that. I know we talked and I told you I'm a singer too, and I
Mm-hmm.
definitely even when I came to college and A&M choir, I told my choir director, I said I don't do solos, so don't put me up for a solo, anything like that. So it really made you step out your shell, like when you got to when you got older.
Oh man, what made me step out of my shell was a heartbreak, a really bad heartbreak in college. Um, my ex fiance, everyone knew we were together. Everyone knew we was getting married. I mean, he was the only person I brought home to meet my family. Like I loved this man, and then one day he just up and disappeared. Didn't hear from him for a week. By the time I got in contact with him, he had moved back to Clovis, New Mexico, which was 9 hours away from me. Your girl didn't have a job. I didn't have no gas money to go up and pull up and cut him. So at that point, I just had me, I had God, and God reminded me music was something I used when I was younger to stop myself from crying. When I felt alone, I would sing to myself in the bathroom. And he just brought that love back slowly but surely. And then I was like, okay, I think this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
Somebody said he's a square.
He was a square, and I try not to label everybody that's that sign as square, but it's happened twice with the same sign, so I'm just like, I don't know if I can rock with that sign. Sagittarius.
Ooh, I haven't dealt with Sagittarius before.
I don't recommend it.
I was just hoping that you wouldn't slander Scorpios. I'm a Scorpio. Everybody loves to slander them.
I
So,
have a Scorpio best friend, and we're good. Me and him are
oh,
good.
what's your sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
And see, yes, I love Capricorns.
Yeah, we're the goats, legitly the goats. So
Y'all are very blunt. Y'all say what's on y'all mind all the time.
we have big hearts. Like we're real big crybabies too. So
Really
like
nice.
we're sensitive. We love you, but don't awaken that beast in me because it ain't nice.
And he almost got it.
He,
He got away.
look,
That's
let
why.
me just say, if I had $100 in my bank account at the time, I would have made a way. I ended up Googling. I don't know how I did it, but I ended up Googling finding his mama's house where he was at, and I was ready to pull up, but I just didn't have the
Hey,
funds. The Lord was looking out.
on some Jasmine Sullivan, bust your windows out type stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So, about your music. So how do you like keep the balance between like your lifestyle, having fun, religion, and just your personal outlook of yourself? How do you keep that all balanced and presented in your music at the same time?
Well, it's weird because with my music, my creativity, I go through like these spurts of being overly creative, and then like there's spurts where I'm in a drought, and right now like I'm in a drought. So thank God I have songs in my vault that I am perfecting and getting together so that way I can put those out in the meantime. But
Okay.
when I'm in those overly creative moments, I can make like 7 songs in a day. I get like freestyles. If I hear beat, it just starts coming to me. I can write it out. And that's just normally how it works. And those creative moments are normally like in spurts of like a week or 2 weeks, and then the drought will be like 3 months. So I better get it out while I have the juices going.
Yeah. Like if I'm gonna make it, let me just go ahead and make a whole album. Might go
Yeah,
ahead try to be Chris Brown, make 43 songs on the album or something
right,
like that.
right. He ain't had nothing to do but make music when he did that. So kudos to him.
Okay. Well, like, how does your personal life kind of show through your platform and as a brand? Just like not just your music, like as your whole Bridjai brand, YouTube channel, and everything like that. How does that portray through you? What do you like? What do you want people to get when they look at you?
When what I want people to see from me is someone that isn't scared to talk about Christ. I ain't perfect. I will let you know I'm not perfect. God told me he had his perfect son die, so I did not have to be perfect. So I'm gonna give you my truth. I'm gonna give you love. I'm gonna give you light. I'm gonna give you wisdom if I got it. I'm gonna give you laughs. And I just try to incorporate that all into just what you see is what you get. If you don't like it, look, not everybody likes sweet tea, but that don't mean I'm gonna stop drinking it because you don't like it.
Okay.
So I just try to be real, and I try to make my music real. I try not to talk about anything that I can't relate to, because everything, my music is parts of me. So what I'm putting out there is always subliminal to something that's going on, someone I'm talking to, someone God puts on my heart to make it about, or just something that I'm going through, something that I'm feeling, something that I want. My music, my platforms, my YouTube channel, all that is just me. It's Bridjai wrapped in a bow.
And you do it. I think you do a really good job about that. Like even from like my first time when I like went on your page, as soon as I went on your page, I said, okay, she's deep in her religion. She makes sure she respects that through her music, through everything she does, like everything, even like on your YouTube channel. Y'all just on there having fun. There's
Mhm.
nothing thing like that. And I actually
Yeah.
watched a few videos, and I was weak at the African workout video, and the reaction video.
Yes, yes. We be having so much fun. Like that's why we just came with the idea. Let's just go ahead and do this. Let's get it over with because the world needs to see this. They need to catch the stallions.
Tell us about like how that even came about with y'all. Like what were y'all doing when y'all was like, okay, let's start a YouTube channel?
Well, okay, so I've known Taylor for um 13 years. Like we
Oh,
met in middle school, and we lived outside of the district, but somehow, some way, we ended up getting close with her. And her mom was like, "Yeah, y'all can come ride the bus," because we used to live in her neighborhood, and they was
okay.
like, "Yeah, you can ride the bus, come over to our house, and your parents can pick you up." And so we just got cool like that, and we just kept going from there. And then through the years, there was a period where we didn't talk for a while, but it was just life. And then once we
Yeah.
reconnected, life just happens, and you can't get mad at people when life happens. Just respect it, and if you can rekindle that, then rekindle it. If you don't,
Y'all
don't
going
let that be bad blood.
with all that.
Yeah. And so I had just actually finished shooting Easy With You with Wolfie McNeil, and me and him went over to the kickback. They were recording Watch Your Mouth podcast with Rick Hussle, and she was like, "Come through, see us," and all that stuff. And so we went through. We was kicking it, talking. I was telling her about everything, how it went, and all that stuff. And then we were just having so much fun and laughing and stuff like that. I said, "Taylor, can we please just make a YouTube channel, please?" And she was like, "Let's do it, let's do it." So we finally did it, and it's just being cool now. Taylor is like me. She juggles a lot of hats at one time, so it's hard to reel her back in. Like, "Hey, tots, what's going on with the tots? What is happening with the tots? We need to upload. Come on, let's get this going." And so, but yeah, that's how that came about. We was in the car.
So if you could describe like the polarity between y'all, how would y'all describe like your personalities on the YouTube channel?
Me and Taylor are just both two super silly, goofy women, and it just oozes out like it's uncontrollable. Like everything we do is not planned. Even when it came down to the um Tales of the Stallions and Thanks for Taking a Stroll Around the Ranch with Us, that everything is literally one take and it just happens. Like we don't have to cut it. We don't have to, oh, let's do that. If anything, we're cutting it because we're laughing too much. And we're like, okay, be serious. Be serious. Like with the reaction video, it took us about 20 minutes before we actually started filming because we could not stop laughing. And then when we did it, none of it was even
I
funny. She
believe
was the only one. I was like, bruh, like, what?
I can definitely believe it. Like us down the hill, I promise, we're all some jokes and like I don't know what people like will see, but we really have so much fun behind the scenes. And sometimes when
Yeah.
we get stuff done, it'd be like, okay, I know it's funny, but we got to go ahead and get this done so we can go back and have
Right.
fun after.
You gotta know that balance. And sometimes when me and Taylor together, it's really hard, and we have to get on top of each other. We try to bring out the best in each other. Like she does a lot of my music videos for me, and of course with the tot stuff like that. So we just try to bring out the best.
Okay, so she does photography, videography, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See, that's dope. So y'all have
Yeah.
everything. There's y'all two people,
Yeah.
black women.
That's my road dog.
Black women, I tell you. Okay, well, how does it feel to finally be releasing your album, your first album? Welcome to the Coffee Shop. How does that feel? I know you have.
I am overly happy because those songs are over a year old.
Okay.
And I was trying to put them out last summer, and just life. I went through one of my droughts, and I just felt like God was doing a lot in me personally in my life, and I just couldn't put it out. And I would be like, okay, I'm ready to put it out. Something would happen, nothing would happen. Then as the year went on, I ended up meeting the artist Bobby, who did the cover for Welcome to the Coffee Shop. So it ended up working out perfect. That I waited. And, you know, sometimes the blessing is in the wait, even though the wait sucks. Because there's some other things that I'm waiting for, and I'm just like, Lord, I don't know if I can do this. I cannot do this.
But the wait makes the blessing so much sweeter sometimes, I promise.
It does. And I needed that. It does. Because today I was just like, Lord, I don't know. I know your
It's coming.
blessings make you rich and add no sorrow, but it's that sorrow because it ain't here. I don't know what to do.
It's coming. I promise. Like, I feel if people really just go on your page and listen to that little snippet that I listened, I was like, she's spitting right now. Like she's spitting, and it's really dope. And like you said, the cover is really dope. I like the black and white theme. It gives me like something I watch on like Boomerang or something.
Yes.
Jazz lounge, like Betty Boop type thing. I definitely.
Yes. Everything that you will hear on the coffee shop is going to make you feel like you're in a coffee shop. So I'm not going to say too much because I put enough on there to satisfy but draw you in. I might get some hate DMs. I might get some phone calls like, I cannot believe you did this. But when is more of it coming out? I need it.
Look at you, be like, dang, you just gonna put me out like that? They gotta respect the game. When you date somebody, artists like that, you just gotta know. Sometimes you might be in a painting, you might be in a lyric, you might be in a poem, might be in a song or something. Play game, but you gotta play your cards right though.
Yeah, a lot of all of that is in there. Poetry, rapping, singing, all that is in this album. So I'm super excited for it.
And what was your overall strategy to stay focused when you was creating the album? Like you told us, like you went through a drought. Through that drought, because artists, we always go through droughts. There's always time we just like, okay, I literally can't think of nothing. So what kept you like motivated? What kept you pushing, going through that drought?
Well, when around the time that I met the producer, Analog, I was uploading covers to SoundCloud. And I went through this thing where it was like, if you do like for like, retweet for retweet and stuff like that, I was doing that, ended up coming across his page. And he had some really dope, different type beats. And I was like, I love this. Let's see what we can do. And he listened to some of my stuff and he was like, man, let's do it. So he sent over some stuff. He sent me over like 5 different songs. And the first like 3, I was like, yes, these are it. And so I ended up making the songs in 3 days. And the song was done within 2 months with sending back and forth, the editing and all that stuff. It had been done. It just was sitting
Wow.
in the closet.
So I know you was like real hype. You was like, okay, I just went through a period of drought, and then now I'm just did a song in 3 days. Like I know
Well,
you
I
was like,
hadn't
okay,
been in my drought yet. At that moment, I was in my overflow.
okay,
So I had probably made a whole album. Then he sent me some stuff and we did that separate
oh,
thing together in 3 days. Well, in my part, 3 days, and then overall 2 months, mixing it and getting everything finished. We did in like 2 months.
okay. So what would you tell an artist, especially like up and coming artists that's not used to going through that? Like, what would you tell them to like keep going and not just get discouraged? Because a lot of people, when they go through that like first drought, they be like, "Dang, did I just lose my touch? Maybe it's not for me anymore." What would you say to tell them to keep going?
Well, there's an interview where Pharrell says if you go through writer's block, you're uninspired. And I find that to be true. Um, if you don't have anything to write about, you're not living. There's nothing happening that excites you. You're starting to go into emotion of things. My mom always says if you're having a hard time, you're stuck on something, walk away and come back to it later. My walking away and come back later ends up being months to a year later, and I'd be like, man, this is really like, yeah, I can feel it. But it just all is in that thing. Sometimes you gotta pray. Sometimes you gotta sit and be still. Sometimes you gotta listen to other people's music to catch a spark. It won't be like an initial flame, but it'll be that spark. And if it hits the right type of surface, it can start the flame. Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
just need to go walking. Sometimes you talk to a friend. There's so many different things you can do, but getting discouraged is not that thing to do because it that prolongs the process.
Um, especially like right now, everybody's sitting at the house. They
I
probably
wish I
feeling
was sitting at the house. I'm an essential worker. I
like,
have not been at the house. I have not been quarantined. I go to work every single day, 5 days a week, sometimes
oh,
six.
oh my goodness. And
Yeah,
you still
so like
working during the pandemic, doing a race war, everything.
I wish I was one of the
Incredible.
people that got to stay at home because I probably would have put out 3 albums by now. Would have had a whole bunch of videos, a whole bunch of this, collabs and all this, but I haven't been able to, so I have to. That's where that juggling comes in,
We
and it's
that's most definitely a salute to you because
thank you.
I'm gonna let you know it couldn't have been me. I would have probably collected unemployment, maybe hit a little file on the paper or something, because I would have been like, something got to give.
But see, like being a Capricorn, I'm naturally a hard worker,
Yeah.
so I'm one of those people. They ain't gonna let you leave. No, everyone else can leave. You gotta stay because you work. You do what you're supposed to do. You go above and beyond. You figure out the ways. You help everybody out. So I'm like a key essential player. I'm an essential player at my job.
That's so dope. That's a great work ethic to have in this business too, because there's no telling what obstacles you'll find, what battles you'll have to fight, or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I know we just really excited to hear everything that you're going to give us on August 28th. And could you? I remember you also told me something special about that day. Could you tell us what's special about that day?
Oh yes. So when I originally was like, yeah, after that year had passed, I was like, I need to put this song out. I need to put this album out. And I was like, at that point, I was like, I don't even know what day. And then Juneteenth came, and I was like, well, dang, that would have been the perfect day to put out this freaking Welcome to the Coffee Shop because I feel like this is definitely like the blackest
Like,
album, the blackest I've done in my music. And not even
like,
saying like my music has color, but like this is definitely deeply rooted in melanin. So
educated to
it's
my people.
gonna, it's for the culture for sure.
Okay.
So after I missed that opportunity, I was like, gosh, what day can I do? And I was like, well, I have to do it in August. I mean, I just have to. And so I heard the Lord say, look up important Black historical dates in August. And I was like, okay, that's really weird, but let me look it up. And so I ended up finding out that August 28th is the day that Martin Luther King gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. And also when I believe it's the slaves, there was a proclamation made for the slaves in England or Jamaica. Is one of the two. But it's like that day has like a lot of actual like Black importance to it, black people magic to it. And I was like, it makes sense. Let me do this because music has always been a dream. I've always seen my name in lights. So why not do it on the day Martin Luther King gave his speech? I have a dream. It just worked so well together. I was like, all right, Lord, you did it again. August 28th.
The ancestors are gonna be going up with you on that day. Somebody said, "Do you know how many? Would you tell us how many songs are gonna be on the album?"
3.
3.
That's why I said some people are gonna be upset, but it's enough to be like, okay, it's a body, but I need more of this body. Like, to show me 2 thighs, I need 2 legs and a breast, please. Give me something else.
What about the sides? What about the sides?
And that's what the surprise drops I'm gonna do this month is gonna be the sides.
Surprise drop?
Surprise drop. So technically, it's really 2 songs that everyone hasn't heard on Welcome to the Coffee Shop. I will say Dear America is on the coffee shop.
Okay.
That out of all of them, they come with that energy though. So I really don't have a favorite. They're all like up there on that. I can't just solo out a song. So
you got me so to it, I promise. It sounds like it's gonna be a work of art.
it is. I'm definitely trying to get some merch together. Welcome to the Coffee Shop tees. Welcome to the Coffee Shop hat. I think it's gonna be really cute. Merch. We got that coming.
Most definitely. Okay, so Bridjai from Dallas, Texas, has her first album coming out on August 28th. Welcome to the Coffee Shop. Everybody, make sure you follow her. Make sure you check her out. She's very dope. Could you tell us all your social media handles in one more time before we log off?
You can follow me on Bridjai the Singer, which is at the top. You can also follow me on Bridjai Chani Music, BRIDJAICHANI Music, and Twitter and Facebook. All that is Bridjai Chani, or Twitter is Bridjai the Singer, but Facebook Bridjai Chani, and Bridjai Chani YouTube. You can catch me on Tales of the Stallions YouTube channel. Yeah. It links in the bios. It's there.
Oh, I had such a great time talking to you today. You were such a vibe. I really am excited for this album. Like I promised, I can't wait to hear it. I love R&B. That's my favorite genre. So that's like my whole little area right there. And just to go before we end, could you do your ringtone that you made one more time?
Okay. Gosh, that is so funny. Like, I feel so used.
Just one more time.
Hey, this is your girl Bridjai. Sorry I couldn't get to the phone to say hey. Leave your name and your number, little message, and I'll probably call you. So thanks for the time you gave me. I'll get right back to you maybe. So thanks a lot. Don't drop a dot, and I'll see you later on the 5 o'clock.
Thank you. All right, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Thank you. You too.
All right, thank you all for coming on for this interview with Bridjai. Stay tuned. We have so many more interviews coming for the rest of this month and many more months to come. So thank you all for logging on, and y'all have a blessed day.